In this video, I'm going to demo features of Airforms that a end user of the form would see. This is the screen that you see when you log into Airforms, and when you click on Forms, you can see all forms that are available for you to use. There's no ability to connect to a database, there's no ability to design queries, and there's no ability to add new forms or make modifications to existing forms. As an end user, you can only open existing forms and enter data into it. So I'm going to open the employee form. So the buttons that you see here are, you have the query parameters. There's the location query parameter, department name query parameter. As a user of the form, you want to locate the record that you want to modify. So to do that, you use these parameters. You fill in values for these query parameters, and then you press the fetch button. So in this particular example, these parameters happen to be interrelated. So you click on the location that you're in residence, say Chicago, and immediately it loads the departments that are available in that location. So if you open the department name dropdown, you can see creative services, human resources, product management, and sales are the departments available in Chicago. If I switch to New York, then it shows you the departments that are available in New York, and that happens to be accounting, customer service, finance, and information technology. This is known as a cascading dropdown. So these dropdowns are interrelated. The value shown in the second dropdown depends on the value you select in the first dropdown. So I select accounting, and then I press the fetch button to fetch records that match these parameters. So here is the first record fetched. So look at these buttons. You press the new button to insert a new record into the database. These first, previous, next, and last buttons are for navigating the records that fetched that match these query parameters. So you press next, shows you the next record that match these query parameters. Then you press next again, it shows you the last record. So there are 3 records that match these query parameters. I can press first to go to the first record, last to go to the last record. If I want to delete a record, I can press the delete button. So here, let me update this record. Employee number is a read-only field, that's why it's grayed out. This is the employee first name and last name. Date of birth is not set. Let's set the date of birth. So I'm going to set, say, today's date as the date of birth. And let's see what happens. It says, you get a validation error saying that the age should be between 8 and 100. And this age is calculated based on today's date. So Airforms knows that this is not just a date, this is actually a date of birth. And it calculates the age based on today's date. And it understood that the date you entered is not between a valid range. The valid range happens to be between 18 and 100. So we had to choose a value within the correct range. So let me change this to 2002. That's allowed. Social security number, let me try to enter an invalid number, 90231234. Nope, that's not correct. It needs to have at least 9 digits, and this doesn't have 9 digits. So let me change that. 8973123412. Okay, that's still a problem. Oh, I had to change the first. Okay, I can enter an address here. And type a city name, and when you type C, it shows you all of the states that start with C and select California. And I'm going to type an invalid zip code here. It's not a valid zip code, so it gives you an error message. So I'm going to enter a valid zip code. Job info, showing you a radio button for that. I'm going to choose seasonal as the job type. Manager is fine. Hire date. What if I have changed that to a future date? Let me change that to a future date. Means 17. So it doesn't allow you to add that. So let's change the date to today's date. That's allowed. So today's date is 2nd, so I change that, and that's allowed. Salary range. If I change that to too high a value, it tells you what the maximum value is. Now we come to department number. So if you know the department number, you can enter the department number, type the department number here. Otherwise, you can type this ellipsis button here. It will show you the available records. And here I can enter the manager number. What if I don't know the manager number? I can click this button here. And again, this is a cascading drop down. So I pick a location and then I click a department, and then it shows me all of the people in that, and I can pick one of the employees from that, and that gets filled in here. Then these text boxes are disabled because they are coming from a lookup table, not from the table that this form is based on. Another thing is, some parts of the form may be shown or hidden based on some of the options that you select. So for example, if I change this manager to clerk, or say salesperson, then commission field becomes available. If I change it back to manager, the commission will become disabled. So because salesperson, only salespersons get commission. So let me change that back to manager, and that disappears, commission disappears. Now that I've filled the form, I can press submit. When you press submit, the form will do a final validation. Submit. Oops. Managers must be full-time employees. So I chose a wrong option for manager. That's the final validation. So I change that back to full-time. The form will let me submit. Now if I press submit, that goes through. So those are some of the most important features that end users of a form get to use.